I hope the best for him. I genuinely do. Is Kasimir Kaskisuo. You mentioned in the last couple episodes that we've talked about minor pro and whatnot, but he gets signed with the Norfolk Admirals. Tough start. Gives it a couple softies. They end up losing the game in his debut. And I do relate to that because the guy hasn't really played a game in a little under a year.
Yeah, you got to shake the rust off. I get it.
Yeah, and you go for the PTO in Boston, and then you're sitting at home, and I mean, you can only do so much development, renting out your own ice and skating with whoever you can find to shoot on you. And like I mentioned with Muzz and myself, it's tough to get into a rhythm when you're not playing those types of games. So I'm hoping the best for him. I really do. I hope that he does well because when he's doing well, his videos are doing well. His videos do well. Our show does well. Piggybacks off the algorithm. When we do well, he does well. It's good for everybody in the goalie community. And I don't know if I mentioned to you on the show last week, but he had posted a video like 2-3 weeks ago. He said, I'm sitting at home, I'm bored, I got nothing to do, I don't feel like myself when I'm not playing hockey. And I feel that too. Like if I'm not doing something to feel useful, I feel very useless very, very easily.
Yeah, idle hands are the tool of the devil, man.
Exactly. And so I sent him a message, said, hey man, we'd love to have you on the podcast. If you're interested, we'll cover your expenses, cover your hotel, come on down, let's do an interview. Now, he shoved it up my hoop, and I guess he signed a couple of days later, so no need to come down for the show.
Good for him.
But did you ever watch the interview that I did with him like 4 or 5 years ago? Me and Shay first started the show.
No.
So I had a little bit of a bone to pick with him at the time. I thought that him coming into the influencing community and trying to charge people for interviews and charge people for their time, for his time, I thought was a little bit greasy because I always felt at that point in time, I owe the community something for giving me the opportunity to make money and have this be my full-time thing. I mean, I haven't worked a real job since like 2018. I've been very fortunate to do that. And I felt I owe the community something like that or something. And so I didn't like that he was doing that. But now, shift forward 4 or 5 years, I'm kind of starting to change my tune a little bit on that and say that the philosophy that I had at that point in time, somewhat a little bit uneducated because I don't know what I don't know. And if I don't know, I don't understand. I'd love to talk to him about that. I really would. I'd love to have him sitting in this chair. I'll scoot over for one and have him down for the show. I don't think he'll ever come on. But if he does, I think that'd be a really interesting interview.
Well, I'm happy to hear that because I think that's something that's realized in age is that the real currency in life is time. Mm-hmm. And there's been a lot of podcasts that have reached out to me that have said, hey, we'd love to have you on. And I said, that's great. I don't want to sound like a jerk, but it benefits you. It doesn't do a lot of benefit for me. And what it does is it takes away time that I can spend with my family. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's the most important thing in the world. I just recently, within the past few years, realized that I thought I was losing friends. I thought, what have I done to lose these friends? And I realized, no, I've just become a family man. You know what I mean? Like I finally understand what that means to be a family man, which is your spare time is spent with your family. Mm-hmm. You're not going out and watching the Amazon Prime game Monday night at your local watering hole with your friends. You're at home, maybe watching it with the kids, or you're doing something with the wife. And it took me a little while to realize that's okay. Like there will be a time when I'm an empty nester and my wife and I can do things, and maybe we can explore reconnecting with old friends or meeting new friends. But once I accepted that and realized that, I was a lot more okay with it. And it doesn't mean that I won't be friends with these people and sending the text message. It just means that my family time is more valuable to me. Well,
I know we talked about it on our way to the Jets game the other day, but you have 2 kids and a wife, and I'm aspiring very soon to be having kids and kind of building that family together. And I'm realizing that if I want to do that, there has to be time taken from other things and put into another pool. And so him having a kid and a wife, I'm slowly starting to understand, okay, I need to charge for my time because the ultimate cost is the time that I don't have with my family. Because you only have so much time, kid grows up, life passes you by. If you don't have family, I've said it before, you have nothing.
You know the song, Cats in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon, Little Boy Blue and the Man in the Moon. Go back and listen to that song. Go back and listen to that song and realize that it is so encompassing of you don't realize how quickly that time goes by because the dad worked his butt off thinking like, hey, once I'm done working, then we can spend time together. And by the time he was ready for that, the kid was away, and now he was doing all of the busy stuff because that's what he learned. Oh, now it's my turn to go do this. And they missed out on that time, and they've created a cycle. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we all come to it at different points in our life, but I don't discourage anybody for charging for their time.
I think another thing that's sinking into is the old saying, rising tide raises all ships, mm-hmm. right? And if he's doing well, then we have to do more to do better. You can't just sit there and let somebody beat you. Right? I'm competitive, you're competitive. I'm sure he's competitive as well. And that's a mindset that's kind of coming over the last couple of years that wasn't there then, and accepting that him doing well is good for everybody. So If he watches this, again, I'd love to chat with him about that, have him on the show. It'd be a great interview, but let us know in the comment section. We'd like to see.
Believe me, nothing but respect for you. Nobody was happier than the two guys in this room when we found out that you signed that deal with Norfolk.
Because it gives us something to talk about, too. And if he does well, we'll talk about it.
Thought it was great.
And we love talking about positive things.
Yep.
For the most part.
For the most part.
We like talking a little bit of shit every now and then. But
hey, more hockey content. It might be old. It might be new. It might be a full episode. It might be a half episode. But you can click these boxes because who doesn't like clicking boxes?